Level 1. The kid. You are 9 years old and your father takes you to a boxing gym for the first time. Not because you asked, because you got into a fight at school and lost badly and came home with a split lip, and your father decided that if you were going to fight, you were going to learn how to do it properly. The gym smells like sweat and leather, and something underneath both of those things that you will later understand is effort. Decades of effort absorbed into the walls and the floor and the heavy bags that hang from the ceiling like sleeping things. The coach is an older man who has seen everything. He looks at you for about 4 seconds, and then he hands you a jump rope and tells you to skip for 3 minutes. You cannot skip for 3 minutes. You cannot skip for 30 seconds. You trip over the rope 7 times in the first minute, and the older boys training in the background laugh, and you feel your face go red, and you want to leave. You don't leave. You don't know why you don't leave. Something about the room holds you there, and you pick the rope up again, and you try again. You go back the next day, and the day after. Within 2 weeks, you can skip for 3 minutes without stopping. Within a month, you're hitting the bag, and the coach is watching you hit the bag, and he says nothing, but the way he watches is different from the way he watches the other beginners. You notice this. You file it away. You go home, and you shadow box in the mirror until your arms ache, and then you do it 10 minutes more. Level 2. The amateur. You are 15. You have had 11 amateur fights, and you have won 8 of them. The 3 you lost on points, and each loss taught you something specific that you went home and worked on until it was no longer a weakness. This is the thing about boxing that nobody outside of it fully understands. You do not just fight your opponent. You fight every version of your opponent that could possibly exist, and you prepare for all of them, and then you go into the ring and prepare for the version that actually shows up. Your first knockout win happens at 16, a regional tournament, second round, overhand right that you have been drilling for 4 months. Because your coach identified that fighters who lead with their jab leave a specific opening for exactly that punch. You throw it, and the other boy goes down, and the referee counts to 10, and he doesn't get up, and you are standing in the ring in a small gymnasium with maybe 200 people watching, and the feeling is unlike anything you have experienced before or since. Not because you hurt someone, that part you don't think about, because you made something work. Because 4 months of drilling one specific punch paid off in one specific moment, and the planning and the execution met each other perfectly. You train twice a day now. School in the morning, gym in the afternoon, gym again in the evening, when your coach will let you stay late. Your friends are doing the things 15 and 16-year-olds do, and you are doing this. You have made a choice without fully realizing you made a choice. The gym is where you belong, and everything outside it is just the time between sessions. Level 3, the prospect. You are 19. Your amateur record is 31 wins and 4 losses. You have represented your country at international level. You have won things with your name on them. And a man in a suit who works for a promoter has been calling your coach for 3 months, and last week your coach told you it was time to have a conversation. You turn professional. The contract is not a large one, but it is real and it is yours. And you sign it at a table in an office, and your coach sits beside you and doesn't say much. And on the way home in the car, he says one sentence. He says, "Don't let it change how you train." You don't fully understand what he means yet. You will. Your first professional fight is against a man with a record of 2 wins and 6 losses. You are supposed to win. Everyone expects you to win. You win in the 3rd round by technical knockout, and the small crowd in the arena reacts, and your corner is celebrating, but you feel something you did not expect. The level of the competition, the specific way the professional game is different from the amateur game. Faster, harder, more deliberate, no head guards. The consequences of mistakes are different without the head guard. You understand this in your body in a way you could not have understood it before you experienced it. You fight 6 more times in your first year. You win all 6. You are undefeated. The word prospect starts appearing next to your name in the boxing websites that cover the sport. People who follow the sport know who you are. That is the beginning of a different kind of pressure. The pressure of expectation. The pressure of unbeaten. Level 4, the contender. You are 23. Your record is 19 and 0. You have stopped being a prospect. The word they use now is contender. It means you are someone who could fight for a title. It means the champions have noticed you. It means the politics of the sport have begun to involve your name in ways that have nothing to do with what happens in the ring. Boxing is not just a sport. You understand this now in a way you did not at 9 years old skipping rope in the gym. It is a business with specific interests, and those interests do not always align with matching the best fighters against each other. You have spent 2 years being managed around the politics, and now you are through them. And in front of you is a fight that matters, a final eliminator. Win this, and you fight for the world title. The opponent is the best you have faced. He is bigger than your previous opponents. He is more experienced. He has been in hard fights, and he has come through them. And those fights have made him better in the specific way that hard fights make some fighters better and break other fighters entirely. You are in the best shape of your life. You have studied him for 3 months. You know his patterns. You know his tendencies. You know the things he does when he is hurt and the things he does when he is comfortable. You know him better than he knows himself. 12 rounds. You win on a split decision. 2 judges for you, 1 against. After the final bell, you do not know if you have won. You stand in the ring and you wait, and when they read your name, you raise your hands, and you look up at the ceiling, and you think about the 9-year-old who couldn't skip for 30 seconds. The distance between that child and this moment is everything. It is the longest distance you have ever traveled, and you traveled it 1 session at a time. Level 5. The champion. You are 25. The night of the title fight, you do not sleep. Not because you are nervous, because your mind will not stop working. It is going through combinations and scenarios, and it refuses to turn off no matter how many times you tell it to. You lie in the dark in your hotel room, and you let it run. You have learned not to fight it. The mind that cannot stop preparing is the same mind that got you here. The champion is everything you expected and more. He is fast and intelligent, and he has been here before, and you have not, and the difference shows in the first 2 rounds. You are tight. You are thinking too much. Your coach tells you between rounds to breathe and to box and to stop trying to win every exchange. You listen. By the 5th round, you have found it, the rhythm, the thing that happens when preparation meets the moment and everything you have trained for starts to flow rather than push. You knock him down in the 8th round. He gets up. He is a champion, and champions get up. You knock him down again in the 10th, and this time the referee stops it, and the arena is making a sound that you will hear for the rest of your life. And your corner is in the ring, and your coach has his arms around you, and for a moment all of it stops. The training, the sacrifice, the years, all of it arrives at once in one moment in this ring under these lights, and it is more than you knew how to want. It is the thing you didn't know you were building toward the first time you picked the jump rope up off the floor at 9 years old. You are the champion. Level 6. The defending champion. You are 27. You have defended the title 3 times. Each defense has been harder than the last. Not because the opponents have been better, though some of them have been very good. Because the target on your back grows with every defense, and the men coming for the title have been studying you the way you studied the champion before you. They know you. They have spent months learning everything about how you fight. Every time you step into the ring, now you are fighting not just the man in front of you, but every adjustment every opponent has ever made to your style. You have also learned what the championship costs outside the ring, the demands on your time, the promotional commitments, the interviews and the appearances and the sponsorships, and the business of being champion that has very little to do with boxing and takes time and energy that used to go entirely into training. Your coach tells you this is part of it. You understand that intellectually. Some mornings it is harder to understand it in the body. The 3rd defense goes 12 rounds and you win by unanimous decision, but there are 2 rounds in the middle of the fight where you are hurt and the crowd knows it and your corner knows it and the other fighter knows it. You get through them. You always get through them. But afterward in the dressing room, when everyone has left, you sit alone for a while and you think about how long you can keep doing this. Not the fighting, the everything. The weight of being champion in a way that exists 24 hours a day, not just during the fights. You don't have an answer. You get up, you go back to the gym, you start preparing for the next defense. That is the only answer you have ever known how to give. Level 7, the legend. You are 32. You have been champion for 7 years. You have defended the title 9 times. Your name means something in the sport in the way that very few names mean something. Not just what you won, how you won it, the way you fought, the fact that you were never in an easy fight and you never looked for one, and you always came to hurt and be hurt and find out what was true about you on that night in that ring. You know, this is the last one you have known for about a year. Your body tells you things it didn't used to tell you, and you know how to listen to your body after 23 years in the sport. The reflexes are still there. The intelligence is still there, but the margin has narrowed and you know it, and your coach knows it, and the only question is whether this specific opponent on this specific night finds that margin before you finish the fight. 10 rounds. You are behind on points going into the 10th. You have been here before. You know what this feels like. You have been in worse places in worse rounds against better opponents and come through. The 10th round is the best round you have fought in 3 years. Everything that 23 years of training has put into your body comes out in those 3 minutes. Combinations you have been drilling since you were 15. The overhand right that knocked out your first amateur opponent at 16. Movement your coach taught you when you were a teenager who couldn't skip rope. You knock him out with 40 seconds left in the final round. The arena goes quiet for a half second before the noise hits. That half second of silence is something you will think about for the rest of your life. You raise your gloves one final time. You look out at the arena. You have been in boxing gyms since you were 9 years old. 23 years of mornings that started before anyone else was awake. 23 years of doing the same things over and over until they became something automatic and true. 23 years of finding out what you were made of in the only place where you actually find out. The gloves come off for the last time, and somewhere right now, a 9-year-old is walking into a boxing gym for the first time. The smell hits them. Sweat and leather and effort. They pick up a jump rope. They can't skip for 30 seconds. They trip. They look at the rope on the floor, and they pick it up again. That is the whole thing. That has always been the whole thing. You pick it up again.